And greetings. My name is Chef KEIDI, aka Chef KEIDI AWADU, and I'm here today at the beautiful invitation of my friend Dr. Dance to speak on this beautiful topic of CBD talks. I have been a researcher, I'm a vegetarian vegan chef, actually a raw food chef, clinical nutritionist, as well as a publisher of some 34 books now, author of 34 books, including my latest, which is entitled Living Super in Paradise, Creating Space for Perfect Health. And that's what we're really going to focus on today, how you, through deliberate decisions, through proper research and analysis of the tools available, can create space in your life for perfect health and wonderful solutions for preventing disease, as well as treating the body or training the body to cure itself of diseases and disorders. Now, on this topic of CBD talks, cannabidiol, it's very, very important research that we have available that in one of the recent research reports I published, it is a fact that cannabidiol, as well as other components within medical marijuana, are being used to treat at least some 34 different disease disorder conditions. And this is very important. I just want to share a couple of notes on the subject of CBD before I get to the gist of really what I want to share with you today about how you and I take control of our health destiny. We're talking about hemp products in the marketplace. Hemp-derived cannabidiol, CBD, is projected to be a $1 billion market in just 3 years, according to a new report by the Brightfield Group. The data company estimates that hemp CBD sales have already hit $170 million in 2016, and a 55% compound annual growth rate over the next 5 years will cause the market to crack the $1 billion point of integration into the larger economy. And we can see every month, every year, more developments are happening to bring to the reality of the vast majority of the public that we have this wonderful, viable solution now in the form of hemp-derived cannabidiols. You know, there's some 120 different CBD compounds that have been identified, and they are so incredibly useful. It almost sounds too good to be true. It sounds like a myth. Well, that's what I'm here today to talk to you about. Building bridges between myths and reality. First, let's begin with the fact that myths, parables, and fables are integral to culture and civilization. We have myths such as the alchemist's dream, the ability to turn lead into gold, or to turn that which is dull into that which is brilliant. We have this Irish myth of Oisin living in the land of eternal youth, as well as the myth of Ponce de Leon, the explorer, coming to the United States. Florida at that time was part of the Spanish colonies, and searching for the mythical, the fabled fountain of youth, an elixir to reverse aging. Today, we live in an age of advanced technical abilities. We ask the question, using this age, using these advantages, are there ways that we can deliberately transform myths into reality? Despite America's vast and impressive infrastructure, the reality is the citizens aren't particularly healthy. The U.S. spends more per capita on healthcare, research, medical infrastructure, and health insurance than any other nation. Yet, the U.S. ranking by the World Health Organization on patient satisfaction and outcome is poor, ranked 37th among 141 nations, despite spending double of that of the next OECD nations, the Organization of Economic Cooperation and Development, the 35 most prosperous nations in the world. We have a vast network of federal, state, county, and municipal regulatory agencies. Yet this network fails to reverse these trends of chronic diseases that have been plaguing the nation. People are living longer, but the fact is over 60% of American adults over the age of 20 are tethered to prescription drugs. 60%. And 1 out of every 6 of those is on 5 drugs or more. Published data on death and injury by medical contact is appalling, resulting in the word we call iatrogenics, death by doctor. We have to ask the question at a certain point, can we really trust this vast network of government agencies with our health? Toward answering that question, we must make maximum effort to prevent chronic diseases and to extend healthy lifespan. As you are regularly tuning into CBD Talks, you understand that we do have a spectrum of viable solutions. And one solution that I am always suggesting, and this is my area of expertise, food is nature's most perfect medicine. Food is nature's most perfect medicine. Now, let me break this down into 2 classifications. First, there's functional medicine. This is the term that relates to using nutrition to prevent disease. The second term is clinical nutrition, and that is remedial, using nutrition to activate the body's self-healing mechanisms. So, insofar as those 2 systems and how we use them, let me introduce you to the living superfood system. This is the basic theme that underlies the 6 books on this topic among the 34 books that I've managed to get published. Living superfood, where we say food is nature's most perfect medicine. Underlying this system are what we call the 7 principles of optimal health. And I love this because it always works. It is so consistent. The 7 principles of optimal health. While I could detail them in much more length in the books, let me just give you an overview of the 7. Number 1, managing the breath. The breath is much more than inhaling and exhaling. The breath is a spectrum of tool sets that can do anything from increase our immediate energy to lowering our blood pressure, helping us to deactivate or relieve adrenal fatigue. The breath, that's key. That's number 1. Number 2, hydration is key. Water is life. When scientists are looking for life in distant galaxies or on other planets, what's the first thing they're looking for? They're looking for water. Water is life. Number 3 of our 7 principles is nutrition. And specifically the way I approach nutrition, we call it full spectrum hypernutrition. And in full spectrum hypernutrition, there are 8 critical classes of nutrients. These include hydration, vitamins, minerals, protein/amino acids, carbohydrates, active enzymes, essential fatty acids, and fiber. So in full spectrum hypernutrition, we access all 8 of these classes of nutrition, some of which are definitely found in their optimized form in hemp-derived food products. We optimize not only access to these nutrients, but the best delivery method for best absorption of these nutrients into our body. Principle number 4 of the 7 principles of optimal health is rest. You know, sleep deprivation is rampant within today's society. Nearly all of my clients that I consult with are suffering some form or another of sleep deprivation. Number 5, exercise. And there are 3 principal types of exercise that are critical to our longevity and our health prosperity. Those 3 classes of exercise are balanced exercise, especially for those of us who are elderly, so we don't experience falls, which can be devastating to elderly people. There's balance exercise. There's aerobic exercise, which increases the cardiovascular and pulmonary system, makes you breathe hard and makes you sweat. And then there is resistance exercise, where we're using gravity or weights to strengthen the muscles and concentrate our developing muscle tissues, as well as to strengthen the bones so we can resist osteoporosis and other disorders associated with advanced aging. Number 6 of our 7 principles of optimal health is detoxification. Can you imagine if you bought a luxury car, beautiful Mercedes-Benz or whatever car you want, and you polish it, you wax it, you make it look good, but you never ever clean the inside of your luxury car? Who wants to ride with you? So detoxification is critical to maintaining optimized health. And number 7 of our 7 principles of optimal health is the mind-body-spirit matrix. While some would dismiss the relationship between our psychology, our relationships, and our spiritual expressions to our health, there is a bridge now. We're building bridges. There's a bridge between the mind-body-spirit matrix and our biological cellular health, and that's called epigenetics, above genetics, a beautiful bridge into the new era, the new age of medicine and disease prevention. How often have you heard these cliches? You are what you eat. Well, I'm suggesting you are much more than what you eat. You are what you breathe. You are your hydration. You are your spirituality, your psychology, your relationships with other people. Cliche, old habits die hard. That's true. But we must always keep in mind that new habits start quickly. So anytime we determine that these old habits have constricted our ability to live our whole and complete humanity, let's now, through deliberate decision processes, make new habits, formulate those new habits. I have a system. It's called Living Superfood. And I tell you, living superfood is like the alchemist's dream of turning that which is dull into that which is brilliant. Living superfood is like Oisin's habitat, where we can live in perpetual youthfulness and vitality and energy with all of the promises of youth, including that feeling of invincibility. Living superfood is the transforming waters of the fabled fountain of youth. And what if, through your life experience, you prove that this fountain of youth does truly exist? It does really work because you're living it and you are resisting the symptoms of advanced aging. I am Chef KEIDI, and I am here to accompany you on your magnificent journey to disease resistance and longevity. It'd be an honor, a privilege for me to serve you, as it is an honor and a privilege for me to be here today at the invitation of my beloved friend, my sister, Dr. Dams, to speak to you on CBD Talks. So today, I hope you have learned a critical lesson about how we, through deliberate processes, we build bridges between myths and reality. LivingSuperfood.com, that's where you'll find me, where we say food is nature's most perfect medicine. Enjoy your magnificent journey. Thank you for inviting me to accompany you on that trail.